Hello everyone! Welcome to another video. This time, George R.R. Martin just dropped what is essentially a small update on his blog about The Winds of Winter, a Fire and Blood sequel, and the upcoming Dunk and Egg TV series. Let's get on to the video. So George starts this one by getting off his chest that he's been having a tough year, especially due to the passing of his longtime friend, Howard Waldrop, which affected his mood and creative output. From what George mentions, Howard was his oldest friend in the science fiction community, and that they were friends since 1963. He then talks about how this has taken a toll on his work, and I quote, "Nor did I find much solace in my work. Writing came hard, and though I did produce some new pages on both The Winds of Winter, yes, and Blood and Fire, the sequel to Fire and Blood, the second part of my Targaryen history, I would have liked to turn out a lot more. My various television projects ate up most of those months. Some of that was pleasant, Dark Winds, and the Hedge Knight. Most of it was not. The stress kept mounting. The news went from bad to worse to worst. My mood seemed to swing between fury and despair, and at night I tossed and turned when I should have been sleeping. When I did sleep, well, my dreams were none too pleasant either." It's clear that George has been struggling emotionally, which makes writing harder. But even amidst that, he's pushing forward with some pages for Winds and Blood and Fire. Obviously, this doesn't justify the 13 years of waiting, of course, but I think it's important to notice that sometimes our personal lives don't go quite as we would like to, and that affects our jobs, our family and friends, and everything else. Now, regarding the Winds of Winter update, it is good, too, see he is writing a few pages, mainly due to the reason that in 2022, in an appearance on Stephen Colbert's Tuning Out the News, Martin said that he had written approximately 1,100 to 1,200 pages of the book, and that roughly 400 to 500 pages remained to be written. But in 2023, a year after, he confessed he didn't write any new pages and that he was struggling in the past year. So it's good to see he is writing pages at all. It's also interesting that he seems to be writing both Winds of Winter and Blood and Fire at the same time, since he has stated previously, and I quote, "I just need to finish The Winds of Winter, and then do either A Dream of Spring or Volume 2 of Fire and Blood, and slip in a new Dunk and Egg between each of those in my copious spare time. And that will keep me ahead of Ira and his merry crew for a few more years." So he is currently planning to finish The Winds of Winter before Fire and Blood 2. But plans can change, and it seems his energy is increasingly being spent on TV film projects. Speaking of TV shows, it seems A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has finished filming, and George even visited the set. I visited the set in Northern Ireland in July and loved what I saw. Great cast. Dunk and Egg look as if they walked out of the pages of my book. My readers are going to love them. I certainly do. Showrunner Ira Parker is doing a great job. The release date is currently unclear, but we do know it's 2025. At one point, Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav mentioned late 2025, and at another, we had George R.R. Martin mention early 2025 in his blog before editing that out and leaving just 2025. To wrap things up, we've got some movement on The Winds of Winter, a sequel to Fire and Blood, in the works, and Dunk and Egg is officially filming. What do you think? Will we have The Winds of Winter soon, or is this just some other empty words from Martin? And what are you most excited about? The Winds of Winter progress? The Dunk and Egg show? Or are you ready for more Targaryen history with Blood and Fire? Let me know in the comments.